morning. It's Wednesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Mariah Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me, but they're rather incomplete today. How you doing? Mariam kind of breezed in, but she had to just get touched up. Nima, Mele, you James Bond today. What happened? What happened? Please tell us. Share the Nigerian story.
So, recently, I've been coming through Mariam's access to the office as an alternative to the Oshodi block road construction happening. And I decided to do James Bond like I usually would do. If I was stuck in traffic there and I'm late, I'll park my car and take a bike. And the bike man, today I saw death. Whoa. Over, above, below.
Real?
It was so... That is the only excuse for banning bikes on Lagos roads. That man is the only excuse. I've seen bike men responsible. I offered this guy money that I'm running late. Whatever it is, I'll pay you. Even as I was paying, I paid before he carried me. I paid as I'm begging him. I'm paying for my life. See me and Eco Bus. He went into the bus. I had to eat the bus for that bus to stop. Oh, and he was saying, it is his fault. I was like, oh my God, I'm dead. However, we made it here. And the guy was still cursing. I said, okay, as you are going, I pray they catch you, that you do not ever apply Lagos roads. I said it to him. Miriam and myself were able to make it. Because as I passed, I knew Miriam could not enter that.
I was actually telling her, like, Nima is rugged. Miriam can do bike. But Miriam is our babe. Miriam, she's a classy babe. Don't let her enter bike. We'll manage without her. But Miriam entered the bike. I was surprised. But please, let's give her a round of applause. Nima and Miriam. They entered Niger back to get on the show. And that's the sacrifice the ladies make every single day to be on the show. So I think we must appreciate the effort you guys go through. Thank you so much for being on the show. Auntie, we don't have any much time. Let me just say hello to her.
No, don't just say hello to me. Yeah, I'm very excited this morning because Oxford English Dictionary has added 29 Nigerian words and expressions to their updates. You know, I had this argument with somebody recently and they were like, you people, try and speak English like you learned it from the UK. Try and speak English the way it's being spoken. I'm like, we always have mother tongue interference. We are Nigerians. We should be authentic. And now they have recognized us. Let me tell you some of the words. We have agric, barbing salon, buka, bukateria, chop, downfall, to eat money, ember month, flag off, gist. So we gist on Thursdays. They're non-indigent. Next tomorrow is not in the dictionary. For real? To put to bed is not in the dictionary. And finally, severally, when I was doing the National Broadcast Academy, they kept correcting us on the use of severally. And now it has landed into the dictionary. I'm excited!
Well, I'm not going to be so excited until I speak to RDJ. RDJ is going to be the one to confirm if these words actually do make sense. You know how RDJ is? RDJ taught us that there's nothing like severally. It's several times.
It's in the Oxford Dictionary.
I have severally told Mariah. I'm telling you. RDJ has corrected us so many times. There's nothing like severally. It's several times. So we'll see how that goes. Unfortunately, we have to wrap up. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, amazing audience! Very quickly, any first timers here? It's your first time. Please stand up. We got to recognize you. Oh, wow. We're going to give him one. He's a line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Please give them a round of applause. Woo. So we have a little gift from Ada Small. They give us mugs. So we're going to give you the mugs. Thanks for coming. We really appreciate you being here. God bless you. On that note, we're going to go on a break. When we come back, we'll go through the front pages of the newspaper. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Right. Okay, we're starting with the nation very quickly. Amotekun, no going back. Rallies rock Southwest states. Diazani Kuku Olojeme stop EFCC's watch list. Top, actually, EFCC's watch list. Can kicks as Boko Haram kills Adamawa pastor. Ibadan Obas, we've not settled with Olubadan. This can murder was actually very been all over the news. Yes, you have that story,
leader in Adamawa State that was abducted was beheaded by Boko Haram, and a video of that was sent out for people to see. And apparently, Boko Haram had rejected a 50 million naira ransom for you paid to them as before they beheaded him. So apparently 50 million.
They had actually asked for 200 million pounds. Whoa. And 50 million was offered to them, and they said that they're not going to accept that. And they've told the wife that they're going to behead him on Saturday. But nothing happened until Monday, and then they saw that he was killed. Really, really sad. So the president has responded and said that these people will not go scot-free, and that they will ensure that justice is served. Yeah. Really sad story indeed.
Major story.
Yes, go ahead. Amotekun is everywhere. Let's take it.
Okay. Yeah. So there were a lot of protests across states yesterday on the Amotekun. You know, the Attorney General of the Federation had already declared Amotekun, the project, illegal. So they came out, the non-governmental organizations, the OPC, a lot of groups came out to protest that declaration of illegality, saying that they have every right to protect the people in their land, to protect the lives of the people, the properties of the people in their land. And if it's even very wrong, because we allowed the Hisbah to operate in the north and some other, security outfits operating in different states. So, but I would like to take it from what Femi Falana said when he came on the show, that nothing happens on the streets. So they should, get their lawmakers to start passing the bills in the
take the matter to court.
Houses of Assembly. And
so the protest, well, Lagos, I heard that the protest in Lagos was stopped. It wasn't actually allowed to. Yes. Moving on now very quickly to the Punch. Operation Amotekun, we just talked about the presidency governors meeting called off. Southwest holds rallies. Dismembered body of billionaire found in Lagos forest. Stakeholders raised 29-member panel to resolve Kwara-Saraki's dispute. 3 herdsmen arraigned for destroying Ekiti farms with cows. Subsidy may rise as fuel marketers demand higher margins. Khan laments AI protest as Boko Haram executes Adamawa cleric. And FG wants high-profile looters extradited, says Mago. The human interest story, this billionaire, really sad story indeed.
This billionaire had decided to sell a plot, some of his properties in Abuja, and was lured by these people intending to buy it. And upon bringing his original documents to the property, they just killed him, dismembered him, put him in a bag, and escaped with the papers. They were caught on trying to resell as the owners of the property, the same property. And, we must applaud the police for doing this. I saw the video of them paraded and, taken to this place where they dumped the body to. Yeah,
it's really sad because one of the lawyers is pretty close to my family, and he was really, really distraught when he was giving this story. And what was even sad was the fact that this man should have never gone to those people by himself. He's a billionaire. He had no business meeting them alone. And they actually lured him into their hotel room, injected him with a lethal material, and then lethal injection, and then killed, dismembered him before then throwing his body away. Really sad story.
I want to take the Lassa fever again, because Lassa fever is rampaging everywhere now. From Ondo to Kano now, we've recorded 2 deaths in Kano and 16
in Ondo.
16 deaths in Ondo, 84 cases in Ondo presently, 2 deaths in Kano, and Kano Commissioner for Health has something to say about it. This is another, this is like another Ebola. Lassa fever has the same symptoms and, it spreads fast. I think we should have clear.
And I think the doctor in Ondo was saying that the reason why they had so many casualties was the fact that they brought those patients late to the hospital, so they're unable to.
Exactly. May I quickly add that there's a kind of fever, like the sort of Lassa fever in China right now, and we are now China Republic of Nigeria, that kind of thing. As soon as they do their new year, they'll start coming back here to their factories and businesses that they run here. Our government should have a clear Ebola kind of response to what is happening in China. People are dying from those illnesses in China.
Moving on now to Vanguard pro-Amotekun rallies rock Southwest states. Destruction of rice farm, 3 herdsmen docked in Ekiti. Soyinka flays Balarabe Musa for Operation Amotekun. Fury as Boko Haram beheads Khan chair in Adamawa. 9 lawmakers defect to APC, give reasons, and Nigeria-UK investors seal 153.4 billion naira commercial deals. Let's talk about the rice farm. What happened there?
So in Ado-Ekiti, about 3 headers, were decided on, that happened on the 7th of January, decided to take their cattle grazing into this particular farm, and they destroyed about 4.5 million worth of materials and goods in that farm. So they have been charged to court, and though they've been granted bail for 500,000 naira, sorry, granted bail for 500,000. The case has been adjourned till February. So as investigations are ongoing.
Moving on now to Daily Sun very quickly. Governors have no power to sack local government chairman, says federal government. Imo, Deputy Speaker, minority leaders resign as 3 PDP, 2 APGA, 4 AA lawmakers defect to APC. Trouble for 18 runaway high-profile looters, and pro-Amoteco rallies shake Southwest. I have the major headline. Again, AGF is speaking, Malami, declaring that the caretaker committee is unconstitutional. Now, what happens is that after the term of the local government chairman ends, they hand over to the caretaker committee until the next election. So he's saying that handing over is unconstitutional, and they shouldn't do that. PDP is saying that when the Malami start declaring things, this is not a autocratic government, this is a democracy. If you have an issue with that system, you go to court. APC is replying saying that, well, Malami is actually trying to promote democracy, that those guys are actually elected and should remain in office until the next election. Exactly. And should be handed over to a caretaker. So that's pretty much what that story is saying.
So EFCC?
Okay, go ahead, please.
Yes, so...
the high-profile looters? Which
yes, the acting chairman of the EFCC is saying that 18 high-profile looters will be,
extradited.
Yes, extradited and fished out from those countries. That's against what the president said yesterday while he was at the summit in the UK. Appealing to the British government to help him, send back some of these high-profile looters. He mentioned a name right now, but I don't want to mention that name. So the EFCC chairman is also telling us that we should all cooperate, and that the EFCC office that was set up in Ilori is not because they want to fight Saraki, so to speak, but every state should actually have an EFCC
we missed the Saraki story.
Office. Yeah.
Okay, let's take the final paper, Daily Trust. FG Southwest got a small politician solution to Amoteco. Yeah, let me find if the Saraki story is here. Lassa fever, bank customers grown as glitches mar e-transactions. You have that story, especially for those of you that bank with GT Bank. How many of you are banking with GT Bank here?
Plenty of.
Yes, all of us. Like so we had issues. Just tell us what happened.
So it's basically because they were trying to upgrade their software, and they encountered a lot of issues. They even had to extend their closing hour to 6 p.m. But thankfully, everything has been sorted at the moment. You can go ahead with your transactions.
I would advise you, give it a few days, I beg, because...
No, somebody sent money to me this morning. I got it.
Somebody said that they sent money, did not go. Give it 2 days.
It's been resolved now. Can we trust them?
The newspaper said it has been resolved. Me, I will now personally advise you. Wait 2 days before you do transactions. Your hand will just hang somewhere. They will just be giving you stories.
I hope those of you doing POS have your receipts in case of any deduction so that you can go. This period was really...
Yeah, it was really... I sent a few money to some people and it just didn't go. So, anyways, that's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, have you paid your tax? Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Join us on the show to tell us on how stakeholders and taxpayers can adopt the enterprise tax administration system and the digital end-to-end multi-channel solution for tax filing and payment. Is the Assistant Director, Personal Income Tax, Mr. Igo Orenu. And also, we have the head IT LIRS, Rashid Oluwajayi. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
You're welcome.
Right. So, this eTAX transaction, what is it about? I know everybody's going cashless. Everybody wants to use the automated system. And now you're telling us something about paying tax online. Could you give us an idea exactly what this means?
Well, thank you for that question. What actually eTAX is all about is for us to improve in our ways of doing business, just to ease business in Lagos. We thought that the previous legacy application system had instances where people had multiple taxpayer IDs, and we thought that it would be necessary to be able to harmonize all those taxpayer IDs into one. We also know that there has been publication lately for the JTB team that people would need to be able to open an account system. So this is also in readiness for that, because we had been on the JTB program over a year ago and we knew that publication was coming out. Oh, wow. So eTax was also in readiness for that as well. So it's aimed at simplifying the way we run our businesses, how taxpayer enumerations are done, how assessments are done, how objections are done, how debt management are done, and how case management are done, and obviously when people can pay taxes within the comfort of their own home without having to move around, and just to simplify tax administration.
Yes, so this is what we want as young people, to be able to sit in the comfort of our homes, our bedrooms, with our phone, and we can do all of our businesses. So it's a laudable initiative from Lagos State Govt, I believe. So what are the category of taxpayers that can use this e-platform?
All right, thank you. In tax, everybody that has an income pays its tax. And eTax has a coverage for all of them. The major categories we have, there are two. We have individuals, then we have the corporate organizations. The individuals, you go in, you log in, and you file in your returns, and you also do all your transactions. As a corporate body, your representative also goes in and files in returns for the corporate organizations, and everybody are covered. Now, even if you are not lettered, if you are not learned, we have what we call eTax ambassadors in all our 39 tax stations. Yeah, so you walk in there, you are guided. There's a dedicated desktop that you are guided to go and complete it. For example, nobody takes your BVN, you log it in yourself, and it's encrypted. So you are guided through, and you can also fill in. So it is for everyone, the former, the informal, the individual, the corporate body. Everyone that is to pay his tax comes in to enjoy eTax. eTax are come to bring ease to every one of us.
So what are you doing to increase people's trust in this system? Because like you mentioned, when you mentioned the illiterate, unlettered person now, I knew there might be a problem, because even the one way lettered, they are having issues with tax brokers, and all the other little frauds around. What exactly are you doing, to give people that reassurance and to ensure that any such racketeering hole is blocked?
Well, there's a lot of security which has been built around the system. We understand our environment, and we've taken cognizance of all that. The BVN, for instance, which is the major requirement for doing taxpayer registration, has been well encrypted, like he rightly said. So even that encryption, we as tax administrators as well will not see those BVN for us to be able to even do anything with it. Because from the platform, you can see from the 11 digit, the first 3 numbers is only what's visible to anyone looking at your profile, and then the last 3 digits of the BVN, just to be able to identify your BVN. So there's a whole lot of security built around it. There's audit trail on the application as well, so that anybody doing anything within the tax administration can also be traced.
Okay. So the LIRS has been known to push a lot of campaigns. So I remember the File Your Tax campaign, the VATE campaign. What is the general attitude of taxpayers towards this campaign, would you say?
Well, the impact analysis has been good, particularly on eTax. In the last few days, we've had about 18,000 hits on a daily basis on the application.
Wow.
We have a chat engine. We have a chat engine where people can chat with us if they're having difficulties in doing registration. That is in the tune of about 4,000 chats on a daily basis. Wow. So the impact for us has been good, and it's actually bringing a lot of people into the tax system as well.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, because there's a lot of artificial intelligence built into the application as well. Just by you filing and saying that, and Mr. X is your husband, automatically will have profiled that individual as your husband, so that the way we do assessment now is more logical and more scientific. Other than
I was going to ask you 2 questions, but I wanted you to communicate to our audience, because some of them are just looking at me, all this English you're speaking doesn't concern me. Because it's important that they understand that every single person here should pay tax.
Yes.
If you're earning income, you should be paying something. If you're a business owner and you're making profit, you should be paying tax, correct? Yeah. Now, I'd like you to communicate to them exactly how they should go about paying their tax. So you started a business, you are doing hairdresser, for example, or you're a trader, or you are doing something right now. Now, you have no idea what LIRS is. Your own is you make your money every day and you go and keep it somewhere with Yalajo. Now, so how do you communicate to them such that they know how to change their business system such that they're paying something to you? I'd like you to break it down very, very easy for them.
All right. Which of them do you want? I'll be worried boy.
No, okay, fine.
Yes. All right. Now, tax simply is your contribution towards making our society civilized so that we'll not go back to the Stone Age. Okay. All right? Now, it is compulsory as long as you are working and earning income. Income is what comes to your hand in terms of your business. It is for everybody. There's no age limit. As long as you are doing business or you are working and you have an income, you pay your tax. It is not a criminal offense. It is a civic responsibility. Okay. However, if you are supposed to pay and you do not pay, then it becomes a criminal offense. Okay. Because if you did not put your own, I do not put my own, there will be no civilized Lagos. So that is it. Now, how do you bring your own part to it? If you are a salary earner like me, like us. Rashid and myself, are you also a salary earner?
Yes, my
okay.
brother.
It is very easy. Before you receive your salary, we call it popopo. Before you receive that alert, they don't come out and pata. But if you are a business owner, we allow you to run your business. The money you use to, for example, let's say you are a hairdresser, the money you use to pay for your rent, the money you use to buy the chemicals and the things you use, they are all expenses. Just keep a simple record of your expenses, simple record of your income. Then at the end of the year, whatever you have made as profit, what you made in 2019, in 2020, you will pay tax on that income, not on all the money you have.
That was the point I wanted you to raise. Yes. So you get it. So for example, Uncle give me 100,000 naira now to start a hairdressing business. I use 50,000 naira to buy all my equipment. I use 20,000 naira to pay my salaries. 30,000 naira I used to do my operations. That's not what you're taxing.
You are not taxing.
After your business is running, and every day somebody comes pay 2,000 naira for relaxing, 1,000 naira for kiniko. All that profit, you record it every single day, right? Every single week. Now that record at the end of the year is what is being taxed. Now, how would they know what percentage they will give to the government?
Fine. Good question. The problem with us is that many of us don't keep record. All right? So we now put you on presumptive tax. You don't keep record. And you come to me as a taxman with the latest Mercedes-Benz. And you are carrying iPhone. And you are saying I'm not making profit. If you are to be in my shoes, can you convince me? So keep records. There's what we call allowable expenses. When you keep, it's very simple. You don't need to be an accountant. All the things you use to do your business, write them in one sheet. Then all the money that comes from your business, write them in another sheet of paper. All right? When the money that comes from the business, when you subtract the expenses from the money that come to your business, the difference is your profit. That is what you pay tax on, and there is a rate that is applied to it. Now, let me also say another one. I'm sure some of those consultants will not like it. You don't need to go and call a tax consultant. Come to our office with those details. So that, yes, we will help you to calculate it, and you will find out. You will realize that sometimes at the end, your expenses are more than your revenue. That year, you will not pay tax. We call it loss. But if you don't have record,
how do we know?
How do we know?
How does this cover rates? Because we know local governments will come, they will call all the rates and all that. And we know there's been an harmonization. But they will still come, even if you are paid to LIRS or you're a small scale business and you shouldn't pay. They will come and demand a receipt. How does this cover those people?
Fine. For rates, you know, the tax is in 3 levels. We have the federal, we have the state, then we have the local government. That's the way it is for now, but it's been harmonized. But Lagos State have done something very good. Many people do not know. It is in the website of Lagos State Govt. For rates, things like kiosk, radio, television, and the rest, Lagos State have categorized the rates into 3 levels, A, B, C, urban, suburban, and rural. And the rates are fixed there. If you permit me, I'll give a practical example. One of my church member had somebody from Isolo come to her and said, you have not paid, we will lock you up, blah, blah, blah. She just remember that I have a boss in LIRS. He now called me. I said, give him the phone. And I asked the guy that, do you know that there is a rate? His voice started coming down. And Solo is not urban, it might be suburban. It's not coming down. The summary is that you will pay something, but from the rate, it was 10,000. And she was already telling the lady to pay 50 and to pay to an account that is not government account, and it was going to lock the lady up.
There's also what you call
so you should know the rates.
The artisan groups, what they call trade groups in Lagos. How does this
Fine. Now, if you are an artisan, like you are into salon, association, please join your association. Because they come to us as a group. You know, African proverbs say that the bundle of a broom, you cannot break it. Now, the group comes to us and they negotiate on what we call presumptive tax. Okay, so there's an amount that is agreed. Like my mechanic in Ojodu now, he showed me and brags and showed me, I they pay tax. Because it is in his group. So the association comes to us.
I have to wrap up, but unfortunately, thank you so much. For more details, you can go to your website. LIRS.
The eTax application itself is etax.lirs.net. You can also reach us on our website, which is lirs.net. We have our social media handles, which is LIRSGOVNG.
Right, we have to run that, but we'll definitely send all the details out so people know. I hope you were able to get some core information today. Thank you so much. We're going to go on a break now. When we come back, we'll discuss our second topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So, report has it that there's inadequate funding and infrastructure deficiency in polytechnics and technical colleges. Our guests will enlighten us on what to do to put in place in order to upgrade technical training schools and our polytechnics. Joining us on the show is an educational expert and chairman of the council EIMT Polytechnic, Professor Celina Madue-Mezia. Welcome to the show, madam.
Welcome.
You can call us on 070-8066-8014. You can also tweet us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag UOVTVC so we can read your tweets. I think we discussed this on Monday, I believe, very quickly, and we wanted somebody to come in to give us the professional angle on what can we do exactly, because we can all talk. Talk is cheap. We say it all the time. Oh, they're not properly equipped. This is a problem. But you are a professor. Could you tell us exactly how do we begin to resolve this issue of equipping and ensuring that our technical colleges are properly are brought up to standard?
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here. But first and foremost, I think the mindset of parents and all of us need to change. Up to this moment, every emphasis is laid on university education. I have university education from wherever I started to the end of it. But I have come to realize that that is not the answer to everything. We go to university, come out, we don't know how to fix anything. So the answer actually lies in technical education and innovation. And, you know, hitherto, we know that the government has disappointed us. You have seen schools where the roofs are leaking, where everything, the students have no chairs and all. So we won't continue to depend on government. We will not get there. Therefore, and there's a lot of money in Nigeria. And there are many people who have money. And there are many people who don't have, but they don't also have the love of the youth in mind. So what we need to do in the first place is create awareness. Awareness at different levels. And let me tell you, there are so many people, children, who are not able to get admission to universities. We encourage them to come to our Polytechnic, and they come, and immediately there's JAMB exam out. They go to buy the form because they want to go to the university.
That's where the problem is, because nobody wants to settle for second best, so to speak. The criteria for getting into the university says you have 5 credits. The criteria for getting into the Polytechnic gives you 4 credits.
No.
It's 4 credits.
No.
The same 5 credits?
The same, everything is the same.
The same 5 credits?
Everything.
So I'm also aware that in the civil service, the Polytechnic starts at level 7, while the BSc from the university is at level 8.
Before.
Has it been changed?
It has been harmonized.
Okay, so everything is the same now?
Yeah, well, as far as, look, I left.
Hold on.
I left the Lagos State Govt at a very high level after being a university lecturer at Ife. And I know at my time in Lagos State, even Polytechnic HND people were being employed at level 8.
Okay.
It was harmonized. Yeah. Before that, you only needed to do an examination, trade examination to get it harmonized. There is no difference whatsoever. I had my staff in the state government who also reached their HND. In fact, one of them is my registrar now in our Polytechnic. And he attained to the level of level 17.
Excuse me.
Level 17.
You know, the difference usually is not only in theory, like it will be harmonized, but sometimes people feel that only less intelligent people go to Polytechnics. And then less intelligent lecturers or people who do not have really good qualifications are the ones that teach at Polytechnics. So it's seen that, okay, sometimes even if you're unable to get to university, start off at the Polytechnic. And then you can then try universities. What is the Polytechnic exactly for? Let's just clear that myth first and foremost.
That's the issue when I started by saying that there is need to change the mindset. Those that go to the Polytechnics are not less endowed. They're not less intelligent. In fact, some of them are highly endowed technically, but because we have this imported mindset of a university, everybody wants people to go. Some of them don't even pass, and the parents try to. However, how do we remedy that? What we're saying is that the entry point for university and Polytechnic is the same. 5 credits. You must have mathematics, you must have English, and then 3 others at 1 or 2 sittings, irrespective of whatever. Then your JAMB, you must pass the cutoff. That is the only place you would say there's a difference.
Okay.
Sometimes, depending on the program, if you are doing medicine or engineering or whatever, you have higher cutoff marks, depending. And then, of course, the Polytechnics have lower cutoff marks, maybe about 20 difference or something like that. But then, if we understood the advantage of Polytechnics, then there should not be that.
Fantastic. Let me let Nema jump for a second.
I wanted to. My understanding of why Polytechnics were established is not because they're in competition or lesser than a university. They were made to cater for different things. So you want to be a technician, a technocrat, someone who puts the manpower and how to work the machines and everything. That's where you go. You learn from the Polytechnics, and PTI recently was created to also provide such technical know-how. But the person who puts together the brain paper work would have a university degree such that he has the vision to see through how all this will combine and a complete production will be completed. So I have a company, I would take someone from a Polytechnic because they would know how to operate what I have. If they did engineering from the Polytechnic, they would know how to operate a car, let's use an automat for instance, and how to operate it fast, better than a university graduate who knows only the books. So where did we miss the link of now putting one person below just because you will get your labor and technical know-how from a particular school and a different kind of employee from another school? Right. How did we miss it and put it about grade?
You know, it's beautiful listening to you who somehow know. A lot of our parents don't know. All they want is that their children must go to the university. That is all. But between me and you, and of course, again, those who make our policies are also lacking. I'm sorry to say. They're also lacking because really for me and for a lot of us now coming up, the technical education is more relevant in our society now than the university education. I'm an employee of labor, and I can tell you that what we are producing from the universities are substandard.
It's a fact.
But this is the truth. You can't write any prose, whatever, and most of the time. And then, excuse me, it does not stop there. Take MIT, for instance, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. They're hands-on. Right. First degree or second degree, no. Everybody is taken through a technical process. Right. Even our universities need to be reorientated. Yes, of course. So that when they come out, they can be self-employed if they want. They can be innovative. They should be innovative. There should be entrepreneurship in all universities.
Professor,
excuse me.
Professor, you know, I have to take one comment from our audience because this is a really important topic, and I think we have to do a part 2 of this. Go ahead, madam.
Okay, my name is Olamitayo. There's so much discrimination in the private sector against Polytechnic, most especially in the bank and the oil companies. How do we do that? How do we go about it?
Thank you.
Do we need them going to the oil? Go ahead.
Excuse me. Really, let's face it. Polytechnic shouldn't be doing banking. It shouldn't be doing banking. It's not for banking. So definitely, if they differentiate against you, it's not them.
Professor, I have to run up.
No, you're not supposed to be there. Polytechnic, if they are well organized and funded, and equipped, which is what I am trying to do in my Polytechnic, is that they should be able to, what we have done, the innovation is that we have repair centers for each program.
Professor, I have to cut you off. I'm so sorry. We're running out of time. But I want you to just give us in a nutshell that final thing you want us, especially the government, to do. And I'm going to bring you back because we've not finished, we've not started this conversation. Let me let you.
This is part of why we are not making progress. Yeah, that is it. Because we don't have time for what matters. This thing is important. We should have had this program even before the universities and polytechnics started, so that students and young ones should know where the onions. Because polytechnics should not be put below the university education in any way. And where the onion is that please let the parents, let government know that they should pay more emphasis on technology. You know, now you call people to repair your fridge, they will do it 100 times. It's not gotten.
Yes, fantastic. Professor, I have to come back. You know what? Professor Celina.
Thank you.
What I'm going to do is we're going to bring you back. I don't know how free you are because we need to really thrash this issue. We want to support what you're doing.
Important issue.
It's extremely important. We would like to be, your view ladies like to advocate to ensure that parents have that reorientation of what is important. So we're going to bring you back and we'll take this step by step. Well, unfortunately, I have to go on a break because I have another guest who has to come in. All right, that's all. Thank you so much, madam.
I'm glad to be Thank you.
We're going to break. We're bringing out Women That We Love. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're so excited. She's a Nigerian-American social entrepreneur and agribusiness lecturer at Maryland, USA, doing great things and making us proud in diaspora. She's also the author of the Amazon.com bestselling novel, Love in Cancun. She has won different awards. Welcome with us, our friend and sister, Tope Fajingbesi Balogun. Welcome to the show. You can call us on 070-806-68014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourVTVC so we can read your tweets. You've been here before, it's not your first time. So
I'm a friend of the show.
A lot of people already have an idea who you are, but I'd like to connect this conversation to what we just heard from Professor Celina. The truth is, a lot of people don't understand the importance of polytechnics. And you're doing agribusiness because Nigeria is talking about agriculture. Let's get into the agricultural sector. And then you're shipping people to universities and they're just learning theory. But you're in the practical sector. Could you help us understand and also try to reiterate what Professor was trying to really make parents understand the importance of getting our hands dirty to really, really develop this economy?
It's very interesting that you would say this. The University of Maryland, where I lecture, is one of the 50 biggest universities in the U.S.
And my department is almost like a polytechnic because it's a 2-year degree for applied agriculture, hands-on. You have to learn agri-mechanics, plumbing, electrical, and I teach them entrepreneurship and keeping your books as a farmer. So, and this is state-funded, a very targeted program. And I think it's something that Nigeria has to look into, that they have to think about, seriously. And I really love what she's doing.
Fantastic. Unfortunately, we have to go on a very short break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation properly. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Yes, Obiajulu, go ahead, please.
Yes, so I remember hearing about how Nigeria started. We used to be in the world map as a country of agriculture. We had our cocoa, we had our palm trees, palm oil, even palm wine and sort of all those stuff. But I really do not know at what point that everybody decided to go after the white-collar jobs, and we left what used to make us thick as a people. Now, what are some of I know a lot of young people I've met now are going back into agriculture, and we need to create more awareness for more people to go there, because that is the life of the future. What are some of the steps that we can take as a young person who wants to go into this agriculture?
I think the first thing we have to do is to respect the craft.
Thank you.
There are 200 million Nigerians, and they have to eat. And unfortunately, what we see around Nigeria now is junk food, food that is not nutritious. So we have to respect that craft and respect the person who is bringing that food. Once there's respect in the craft, people will go to agriculture. My husband is a farmer in the US. And every time he comes home from the farmer's market, he will tell me, oh, this person bought $2 vegetable, but they gave me $5 and told me to keep the change. And what you're doing is very important. What about you and I? Do we do that to the person that's sending away in the market? Until we learn to respect that craft, it will not be a respectable job.
Okay, so my question is, Nigerians, you've gone all across, to go and do this, and you're respected there, and the spotlight has been shown on you for what you do there.
Approached her farm just recently, right?
Yes. So
that's amazing. Please stop her. Washington Post is a big deal. Yeah,
so Washington Post is a big deal. So these are like, big, and then you talk about big awarded reporters that came to your farm. Yes. What are we doing? What can we learn from what you're doing in America? What are they doing differently that's government level and then individual level that we need to learn to do now?
Yoruba people say that the person who makes himself humble, the world will raise you up.
Yes, so very true.
In Nigeria now, we don't see people, we don't see humility.
Right.
And so there's no way you can be like this the entire time, and the world will respect you. So as people, whether you're an artisan, whether you are a professor or whatever, you have to be humble. When you are humble, the world will respect you, and you have to be patient. Unfortunately, the Nigerian wants to leave Polytechnic today and wants to ride a jeep.
Yes.
And they want you to employ them and want you to pay them 200,000 naira per day. And they don't want to think. We don't want to create solutions. And we are quick to blame Buhari, Atiku, everybody. What about me and you?
Right.
John F. Kennedy said, don't ask what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Right. Go ahead,
Because you're here as a woman we love, and it would be wrong that you do not inspire before you leave. I'd like you to talk about the many caps that you wear on United for Kids, your CEO, NG, how it inspires, what inspired you to even go that route.
Thank you. So I'll be very brief because I know we're almost out of time. But United for Kids Foundation is my baby. It's something that I started the year I got to the US in 2002. We have mobile libraries, we have back-to-school events. We take care of about 10,000 children every week. And our goal is to make sure that the gap between the education received by children in public schools, primary schools, and that of children in private schools is bridged. So we make sure that we take from people like you and give to people like them. So people can find us on Instagram at United for Kids NG. CEO is something that I wish I had when I was going through a divorce. It's something that I wish I had when I was losing my job or, getting broke. It's a close conversation for women of African descent everywhere in the world to sit down and talk about things we as Africans don't talk about. to really talk authentically. I don't want to go to a conference and everybody is talking about how they succeeded, and then I feel like a failure. As CEO, you get in there and you hear how somebody you respect also failed and how they got back up. So.
Now, how many CEOs have you done altogether?
So I've done, this is, the one in Lagos on Saturday is the 7th CEO. We've done in London, we've done in Baltimore, and we've done in Lagos. This is our 3rd in Lagos.
Okay. I would like to take us back a bit to the agriculture part, because your critics, I mean, she went all the way to America to go and do farm. So tell us your experience for those who are saying that you didn't do it in Nigeria. Let's hear what happened.
So first of all, I have to be in full disclosure. I'm not the farmer. My husband is the one who does the work. I just manage the business on the farm. So my dad farmed before he died for at least maybe 30 years.
Okay.
My husband also farmed in Nigeria up till maybe 2000, maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
So I have seen the lack of government support. I have seen the lack of respect firsthand. So it's not like people can tell me that I don't understand. Nigeria and Nigerians aren't ready for agriculture, and that's the unfortunate part. Agriculture is not an easy business. And if you want to do it, you have to do it in a place where you're supported. How can you go and employ somebody, you employ a young person, and the person takes your day-old chicks and put in their bra and leave? Oh, is that a government thing?
Oh, Coco. Tell them.
Oh, Coco. Are you a Coco? Not them. Yeah. And you know, how is it possible that you tell people, oh yes, go and farm, we're going to give fertilizers to farmers, or we're going to give this to farmers, and it doesn't reach us? So this makes it really hard. And at some point, you have to preserve your peace of mind.
So what you're saying, I want to show that we're clear. Yes. Your husband actually started farming in Nigeria.
He farmed here for about 15 years.
15 years?
Yes.
Now, he goes abroad, relocates, and continues his craft. And then the government supports him. Now he's being internationally recognized.
Exactly.
Interesting. See our people.
You know, I remember he was given a farm.
Yes.
Given a piece of land.
I would love to talk about that.
Yes, free.
Yes.
But here, a young farmer who wants to start out, you have to buy that. Nobody's giving you or rent that land. So how do we support?
You know, I have to tell you this. So I've been in America for almost 20 years, but the Nigerian in me comes out every time I'm either driving by a trailer or I have to, you know, find something. So my husband told me, if I move to America with you, I have to farm. So I'm thinking, of course, you know you can farm, but I'm thinking, where will I get the land from? So we got this place through the local government.
Yes.
And they said, we will match you with people who have land, and they want to give it to young farmers. And so one day they matched us with this couple, and I was telling my husband on the drive there, I said, this place we are going is like going to Ikoyi, because it's like the city before Washington, D.C. I said, if they ask us parents that they don't want to charge, it will be $1,000 per month. You know, we do have $1,000 per month. And agriculture does not pay that kind of money. So he said, let's just go there. Let's know what is chasing us before we run. We got there. And the people said, you know, you can have the land. We will do this for you. We will do that for you. And I said, please, before we sign, how much is it? The woman, she said, do you have $1 in your purse? I said, I'm wondering, what does that have to do with what I'm asking you? She said, bring $1. That will be consideration. Jesus. And we signed a 4-year lease.
Woo! Now, let me go ahead.
Is this something that they do for everyone, or was it a particular interest you took in you and your family?
So this is something that, you know, America is just like any country in the world. There are bad people and there are good people. But the local government, this is where government comes in, has identified people who would be willing to do something like that. And they've identified people like us who will be willing to also, you know, make the sacrifices. Farming is by no means easy, but after I got, you know, we started this farm, I now joined, I have been appointed to the board of the Mid-Atlantic, that's about 5 states, farming organization, farming alliance. So as they give you, you also give back.
You give back.
Let me, before I go on the break, I want to happen something very important. You see, it's important that we understand, put ourselves in this. There are rich Nigerians today that have an opportunity to create farmlands that where they can identify or register with the local government or with the government and say, listen, if you know any farmer that has the right credentials, that is willing to work, match me up with them, and I can give them this land in maybe Ondo.
Instead of fencing up the land and putting
wherever it is. So you find your money and you're buying all these big cars or buying all the land, but you can actually put it to use. So listen, it's important that we replicate these things that are happening so that we understand that we're helping Nigeria, not just by government, but personal funds, personal support. I have to go on a break.
Oh, it's break.
When we come back, we'll continue this conversation with Mariam. Stay with us, together.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Yeah. So there's this conversation I really like for us as Nigerians to begin to have. And what you're doing in America is that community of farmers is also providing organically grown produce for your community. So people in that community are eating healthy. Here in Nigeria, we go to supermarkets and we buy food that are looking abnormal. So you buy chicken that looks like a little turkey, and you think, but people, Nigerians don't even understand the danger of it. So please, could you just talk to us how your community helps that and how we can imbibe it here in Nigeria?
So I have to say that in America, they also eat bad food. America is the home of bad food, and everything is genetically modified. But we're seeing governments giving support to farmers and creating farmers markets. 3 times a week, we go to communities and have stands there for people to come and buy our own produce. And for people to see, when you see Dodo Farms produce, you see certified naturally grown. And people know that when you buy certified naturally grown strawberry, it is maybe $1 more expensive than the one that is not. But you know that it is $1 that you don't spend in the pharmacy. So I think that education is very important for us as Nigerians to understand that cheaper is not always better.
All right, let me just take this quick comment from our audience. Go ahead, please, very quickly.
Okay. All right, my name is Liki Aino, David Liki Aino. I appreciate our guests. You have said very wonderful things. And if you listen to her, you will discover how the American government did this. Now, your view is a platform where we can reach, the common people can reach the government. That's why I'm saying this. There's what we call brain drain. Recently, we talked about our medical doctors leaving the shores of Nigeria because the country does not offer them what they need. Now, there are lots of us graduates who are ready to dust our certificates, put them somewhere and go into farming. What is the government doing about this?
To support you. There is support out there, I'm told, for agriculture, but people just feel like it's a bit cumbersome. It's not all the way out there, but we have to run about. I need you to tell us, in the summary, your advice to young people, and tell us about the conference coming up this weekend, and how do we participate? Yeah.
So my advice to young people in Nigeria is this: have focus about what you want to do, and understand that if you don't have focus, whether you're in America, which everybody wants to go, or you're in Nigeria, you will not succeed if you don't have focus. Don't depend on what somebody else is bringing for you. As for Shio this Saturday, I think we're going to have a fantastic time. We have an amazing lineup of guests. The first woman ever to be elected as deputy governor in Nigeria, Alaja Sinoto Jikutu, will be there. Nima will be there as well. We will have, and for the first time in Nigeria, we would have men in the room at Shio to talk about, issues that affect men as related to women as well. So it's going to be
just to add, I've also been on the panel of Shiro back in the past, so we're all going to be part at some point. Just so that, because Shiro is an important government, so all at some point we will all participate. Can everybody participate?
So please go to sheo.com/events, and I will make sure that I retweet that and tag.
I'll be free.
So to be in the room is full right now, but people can join us live stream. And some of your audience, I'll see how some of your audience members can join us free on the live stream.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work. We're going to keep, we'll bring you, anytime you're in Nigeria, let us know. We'd like to have you just update us what's going on because, hey, we're proud of you and we should celebrate you.
Thank you.
Have a fabulous day. Bye for now. See you tomorrow.